What's going on, everyone? We got a small little harvest yesterday. It is July 12th. These are some cucumbers that we just pulled. We got some squash, bunch of banana peppers, purple beauty bell pepper, blueberries from 3 different bushes there, and some of the tomatoes are finally starting to turn red. We got some sugar snap peas and some royal burgundy beans as well. Let's take a walk out to the garden and check it out. As we come out into the garden, we've come across the tomato bed. Got tons of fruit on all these guys. As I said, they're just starting to get some red and some orange on there, so that is awesome. We got radishes down here. Oh yeah, some of them are about ready. Look at that guy. Oh, can't wait to eat that one. Some amazing, look at these fruit sets. Look at these sets of fruit. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're going to be getting tons of fruit off of these plants. Just nice giant sets of tomatoes here. Behind me we have the cantaloupe growing on the fence here. So we have a bunch of different cantaloupe plants, and I just have them tied up and trellised along the fence. So hopefully we'll be getting some delicious melons, 2 different kinds of melons. Here's some more melons. These guys are a little bit behind, but I'll be tying them up on the fence very soon. The pepper plants are getting tall. So in these containers here we have, these are red lunchbox snack peppers. We're just starting to get some fruit on there. And then the long cayenne pepper plants are getting real tall. And then we have some Tabasco pepper plants back here that are also just getting tall. Just starting to get some flowers on them, so we'll be getting some peppers in the future. The raspberries, there's tons of raspberries in there that I gotta get in there and harvest. They're just about done for the spring summer harvest, and we'll get a nice huge harvest again in the fall. Saw the banana peppers that I picked. There's still a bunch of little peppers on the plants, and then I got to get in here and get some of these strawberries. This whole bed is full of strawberries. Maybe a couple more days, but these are ever bearing, so they just produce throughout the whole season. Here we have a Jimmy Nardello pepper, and then over here we have some gypsy sweet peppers and some habanero peppers, sweet habanero. And then here we have some beets, golden beet, albino beet, and red beet. I just planted these seeds about a week ago, and they're already sprouting up here. So I just have the netting on here to protect it from the bugs and the birds until they get a little bit bigger. Here we have some red acre cabbage. Hopefully it does good. It's a little bit hot for cabbage, so I don't have big hopes for these guys, but we'll keep them in the ground, see how they go. There, I got them in the shade here. Not quite full shade, but I shade them. I have them in the back of the cucumber and tomato plants here, so they do get a little bit of shade. These are the plants where we harvested all those cucumbers from, so there's not very many cucumbers on there now, but as you can see, they are growing to the very top of their trellises. So when they get to the top here, all I got to do is I just kind of hit this button, release some twine, and it lowers it a little bit, and that gives it a little bit more room for the plant to grow up there, so it can just keep getting taller and taller. And then the vine just kind of lowers and leans, as they call it. But the fruit down here was already harvested, so it's probably going to produce fruit as it grows up, so it's okay that it's leaning down here. We still have a couple cucumbers on here that I missed. Lots of nice fruit sets growing down here. These are Sweet Millions and Sweet 100s. So this is the Sweet Million right here, and these are the Sweet 100s. Lots, just tons and tons of fruit. And again, we have radishes throughout the bottom here. More raspberries ready to harvest and eat. Delicious. Behind me here we have some beans, and so these are some ground cherries. Never had a ground cherry before, so I'm really looking forward to these guys producing some fruit for me so I can finally try a ground cherry. I have some Aunt Molly's ground cherry, and then there's a New Hanover ground cherry. Those are Roma number 2 bush beans. And over here we have a whole variety of beans. There's some red royal beans, some dragon tongue beans, cranberry beans. We have a bunch of more beans, red swan bush beans. I can't even remember them all. There's just too many different kinds of beans. And then these are eggplants, more eggplants here. Strawberries and purple basil. Back here, eggplants. And these guys are getting big. So a week ago I left to go on vacation. I just got back and these tomato plants were tiny when I left, and these carrots weren't even here. So now we have a bunch of carrots and tomato plants in here. I got to get the trellises up for these and do some pruning. As you can see, we already got some. This sucker's getting pretty big. That's just a sucker right there. So getting pretty big. I got to do some pruning on these tomato plants. The eggplants are finally getting nice purple, beautiful flowers that'll turn into some delicious eggplants. Over here we have some squash. We'll take a walk over there. On this side we have some more cucumbers and tomatoes. So here we have the cucumbers in containers growing up the trellis. Some Roma determinate tomatoes down here. There's going to be lots of fruit on these too, hopefully. And then yeah, some more tomatoes and cucumbers. So a couple more cucumbers. So when these grow up, I just kind of give it a little wrap. Just wrap it around the string there. Now it'll grow up that. Behind we have potatoes. They walk over here. Potatoes, we have them in grow bags, so for easy harvesting once these are ready. So they're starting to get some flowers on them right now, just some buds. So once these flower and die back, we can harvest the potatoes. Getting some growth on the blackberry bush here, and we have some more. These are some Kentucky Wonder beans growing here and some Chinese red noodle beans that are going to grow up this trellis on the side of this morning glory here. Some blueberry plants, some strawberries and beans, grapes. Nice big weed right there. Get rid of that guy. Another blackberry with some royal burgundy beans growing in there behind it. Some more beans. There's a dragon tongue bean, more royal burgundy beans. Another blueberry. I just harvested all these blueberries. All the blueberries from the beginning shot came from these plants. More strawberries and grapes, and you can see the Japanese beetles, just the devastation that they're doing to these grapes. They are just turning the leaves into netting, and I'm out here every day. That's why I have these nets on here, but I'm trying to kill all the Japanese beetles, but they're just eating these leaves. So the strawberries are spreading really nice. The blueberries are growing. Grapes are spreading like crazy. I got to start training them. They're popping up above the fence. Again, more strawberries, grapes, same old story. Strawberries, grapes, beans, and blueberries. And more grapes. But they are just spreading. Here's the peas. The peas, these plants seem like they're just about done. I got another round in the ground that should be sprouting to replace these peas. And finally, here we get to some fun stuff. Watermelons. Sugar baby watermelons. So these are going to be hopefully delicious, but we got a bunch of watermelons that are going to basically trellis the rest of the fence from here on down. They're sporadically placed, and we got to train them all to grow up the fence. Here's some peas, some more watermelons. So hopefully those will all be growing up the fence. Some Swiss chard right there. Not looking the greatest, but hopefully that'll stand up. I've never had Swiss chard, so again, that's another one that I can't wait to get a harvest from this year, just to see what it is. We got all of our lettuce out of here. It was delicious, and we planted a whole new round, so a new round of lettuce coming in there. Some herbs, mint and purple basil, dill. Down here we have a new round of radishes. I harvested all the radishes that were in there already, and planted a whole new round of radishes as well. Planted some kale and spinach and different kinds of lettuce in this vertical planter here, so hopefully that'll provide us all kinds of food. The kale's coming up great. Just planted that about a week ago, so looking good. Here we have some currants. We have a red currant and a white currant and a service berry, some coleus. As we approach this side of the yard, we have some butternut squash. I love the way these leaves looks compared to the other squash. Just looks super cool with that white veiny pattern on it. Looks really cool. Here, all the squash looks like it could use a little bit of nutrition, so we'll get some fertilizer in here into these squashes. Crimson sweet watermelon starting to grow. It's going to sprawl out throughout this area, but this guy is an issue. So this is a Ford Hook zucchini, and I noticed it was looking a little dry. I took a closer look, and unfortunately it is infested with vine borer. So this plant is probably a goner, but that's okay. I'll just plant another one, and hopefully there's still time. The coleus garden and sunflowers. So sunflowers and coleus. These coleus all came from cuttings. So I'm actually extremely happy with how this garden is looking, because the coleus is literally just ground cover, covering the whole ground. It's going to grow in, and it's all getting nice, big, and bushy over here. The sunflowers are starting to get nice and tall as well. And yeah, the coleus just big and bushy. I'm just so happy because this was basically free, since it was all just from cuttings from coleus that I already had somewhere else. So super happy with this free propagation garden over here. And all the sunflowers were from seed. This is a Joseph's coat. That's from seed as well. A bunch of cosmos from seed. So probably these are gorgeous. We love these cosmos. We'll definitely be planting these every year. Some phlox hidden down in here. Some coneflower down in there, and then some more sunflowers. We got morning glories creeping around all around this place. Creeping along this fence. I'm gonna have to cut this, because this is where the fence opens, and apparently the morning glory decided to grow its way across onto my gate. So unfortunately I'm gonna have or I could unwind it and wind it back over. We'll see how that goes. This tree, again, just getting devastated by the Japanese beetles. Just destroyed every leaf. This is gonna get a net. I'm gonna go get a net for this right after this video and cover this tree in a net, because it is just getting absolutely destroyed. But that's about it for July 12th update. Sorry I did the harvest not on video. We missed the fun stuff, but I'll remember that for the next video, to leave the fruit on the plants for the update video. But we'll see you next time.